Every single sponsorship that you hear about, in that contract, we have always put in that they should have first right of refusal and offer them the Women's League. That's the first thing we've done. And then, of course, the Youth League and then the other leagues. So it's always been there, but you can't force sponsors to put their money where they don't think they will get as much returns for that money, rightly or wrongly. So that is why what we're doing here today is extremely important. Let's get out in their faces. We will invite them to this event. They will see the talent that we have. They will see the interest in female football, and hopefully, going forward, we'll get more of them putting their money in female football. That's the plan.
All right, we thought you will, talk a lot about women's football tonight. Just listening to the NFF Vice President, Sheyi Akiwumi, reiterating the support that they're willing to give to the Nigerian Women's Football League Board, and of course, will do everything to ensure that they succeed at the job they have on their hands. And I think this is the way to go. If we're going to develop football, I mean, all hands must be on deck. And, it's not all the time you win, but when the right structures are in place, it ensures that the production line is intact and you're also getting it right administratively. And once you have that blend, I mean, you always succeed as a football playing nation.
Football has always succeeded in taking care of its own. In time past, you ask how many countries really invest heavily in women's football. With FIFA grants coming and the rest of them, I mean, some countries have made it a point of duty that you're supporting the men game. There must be something kept aside for women's football, and that support is something that we should encourage in this climate. I know that in recent past we've been talking about each time the NFF president, what is the FA doing for women's football. I think they've tried their best, having programs and having activities that involve women's game, getting as many people. But when you look at the organization, beyond clubs and what the Women's Football League is doing, are we promoting this game as we should at the grassroots level? You are having the under-13 boys competition. Do we have the under-13 girls competition? We're having a big competition for, I mean, you look at the streets, when it comes to street soccer, there are so many boys on the street kicking the ball, so many boys club and the rest of them. What do we have for the girls? Beyond just the FA mountain that we are doing so much, we should have a situation where we have a girls-only club, or maybe for a particular area, or maybe group coming together to ensure that we have one or two programs. But I don't think it's anything that is deliberate, that is coordinated. There is really space to do more for the girl child.
And just in case you're wondering why are we clamoring for the girls, why are we agitating? A year or two ago in the United States of America, the women went to court and demanded that they start getting the same pay as the guys. And, and of course they said, look, the women have done more for football in the United States than the guys. And if you bring it into our own setting, the Nigerian ladies can as well say that they've done
should be getting more, because they've won more African championships, they've been to more World Cups than even the men. And
but they shouldn't go to court.
Well, I mean, if the FA or if those managing our sports, do so much for them, there won't be any need to go to that level. But it should be a situation. I mean, the national team stayed after the Nations Cup in Cameroon for how long? We stayed being inactive. Nothing is happening. I mean, at some point it will catch up with us if we don't really make these girls active.
That's true. All right, let's go to Côte d'Ivoire and talk about tomorrow's fixture in the Women's Waffle Cup. We started well. We edged past our opponents in the first game. But what you have on screen is what's going to go down tomorrow. Nigeria will take on Senegal. Mali will take on Togo. It's too early, but some are already saying maybe Togo will be the whipping girls. Senegal hits 6 goals past them in the first game, and a lot of people are saying, let's take Senegal, let's take them seriously. But some will also say, look, this is women's football, this is West Africa, and we're talking about Nigeria here, so we shouldn't be afraid.
Well, if you look at the results of the first game, Senegal beating Togo by 6-0. It means that from the off, Nigeria is second and not top of the group. And so I think there should be something in that Senegalese team to really take them serious. So to that extent, I think the girls know that they have their job cut out. The kind of result they had against Mali, the Malian team that we were told that arrived, immediately left for the stadium and the rest of them, that result, 1-0 is not like women's football result. It's always goals have always counted plenty, and so beating Mali 1-0, some people just felt that result is not just good enough, and that goal came very late in the half. So now that they are settled and knowing what they will come up against that Senegal, I think they should know that on the line is ticket to the final. That is winning this one is ticket to the final. No need to wait for the next game.
The last game.
This one guarantees you that
get the job done.
Get the job done, and you're there.
Okay, that's the beat on the women's WAFU Cup. Here is wishing the Super Falcons all the best, and hopefully they'll cross the line, get the job done, and probably with a game to spare, already be in the final. And I mean, like I said, Alfred, we have a lot on women's football tonight. And the women, they've not been left out of the clamor, the desire for support for women's football. They've laid out the plans. They've talked about all the things that we need to do for women's football to grow in Nigeria. Let's listen to a board member of the Nigerian Women's Football, a board member of that league board, Henrietta Okagwe, what she has to say about the things that could aid in the growth of women's football in Nigeria. Let's listen to her and be back for more on Sports Tonight.